Hello, hello, and
Hey.
welcome to Actual Play UK. I am your GM for this evening, Maddy Searle. My pronouns are she, her. And you may know me from a bunch of Actual Play podcasts and streams, including Realms of Peril and Glory, A Game of One's Own, and Girls Run These Worlds. But today, we are going to be playing I'm Not Lion, which is a game that I made up with my brain, where you play as animal lawyers trying to either prosecute or defend a client. So... you can buy this game for yourself if you like it on maddysearle.itch.io. But before we get into things, I should introduce our fantastic players. So I would love to know your name and your pronouns and what podcast or stream you are from, starting with Matt.
Good evening. My name is Matt. My pronouns are he and him and his, going for the triple. You may know me from the podcast Merely Roleplayers, where I'm a regular GM, compare, host, occasional player, and possibly from some guest appearances on What Am I Rolling also.
Wonderful. And up next, Natalia.
Hello, I'm Natalia Hull. My pronouns are she, her, you, watch your face, most things really. You may know me, you may not, from a podcast called Trolls the Two-Ton Bridges, or Triple TB podcast. So far, that's all I've done.
Awesome. And Jordan.
Good evening and salutations. No, I am Jordan. I am he, him, or for tonight, Tortoise. I am the DM for the Modified Role pool, and in English, I am the DM for the Modified Role podcast, producer, editor, and all that lovely nonsense.
Wonderful. And last but not least, Zack.
Hello, I'm Zack. You will know me as well from Realms of Peril and Glory. We do fabulous things, one-shots to campaigns, indie games to established titles. You'd really like it. It's really cool. There I am, Game Master Extraordinaire, as well as a fabulous player. I'll keep egging myself up. Enjoy. My pronouns are he, him, and occasionally, oi, mister, you me dad? And so that's how I would like to be referred to for now and forever. Thank you.
Wonderful. Okay, now let's find out what characters you're all playing. So I'd love to know your character's name, what animal they are, what pronouns they have, and also, as an icebreaker question, I would love to know your favorite law-related piece of media. I'm gonna put one down for Ace Attorney, because that is one of the only other games that I can think of where you can theoretically cross-examine a parrot. So it's pretty good in my book. And let's go backwards. Let's start off with Zack this time.
It's me. I'm playing a warthog called Ernest Walton. I'm gonna do my best to do hey, I'm walking the New York accent, but it'll likely slip at some point in the stream and I'll just end up sounding like this, but you know, that's okay. My favorite piece of legal media is, and I yelled this in our Discord chat when this question came up, anything to do with The Good Wife. I'm in for it. I'm there. The Good Wife, The Good Fight, the upcoming third spin-off Elsbeth. I'm not gonna curse, but I'm there. I'm effing there. So, yeah.
Wonderful. And Jordan, how about you? What's your character and your favorite law media?
Tonight, I will be embodying Sheldon T. Ortiz, the tortoise lawyer and partner in the firm Ortiz and oh God, I've forgotten your second name. It was Bolly Monet.
Ali Monet.
We have been thinking about it. We have literally been talking about this all day, and I even got this in the promo thing I put earlier. I forgot. Ortiz and Monet. His pronouns are he, him, and my favorite piece of law media, because I have watched very little, is Liar Liar featuring Jim Carrey. And I imagine at some point tonight I'm going to say, "Objection, Your Honor, that's devastating to my case."
Wonderful. And Natalia, how about you?
Okay, so I am playing a daddy's girl lawyer called Bollinger Ali Monet. She is, her pronouns would be queen, with one of these, which I'm not very good at. But yeah, her daddy owns the firm that Sheldon works up. So she's basically had everything handed to her on a plate. Oh, sorry. Yes, and she's a flamingo.
Thank you, voice of God.
That the audience definitely did not hear.
And what's your favorite law media?
Oh, sorry. And my favorite, I'd have to say, I'm a big fan of Matt Murdock, so it would be Daredevil.
Nice. Excellent. And Matt, how about you?
I will be playing Crawl Newman, whose pronouns are he and his. And he is a snake.
Nice.
Oh, good. That's really good.
And I'm amazed that Natalia didn't snap this one up, given the character she's playing. But I would have to put my vote in for Legally Blonde.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Just full of punch the air moments, that movie.
Ollie thinks she's above that.
Oh yeah, fair.
Yeah, my top three were Ace Attorney, Legally Blonde, and Erin Brockovich.
If
Ooh,
Natalia
good
had taken it, I'd have said something like How to Get Away with Murder.
Yeah.
Nice.
Love those messy lawyers.
All right, so the premise of this case is that the dolphin Blowhole Joe has been accused of stealing the identity of Russell Wall, who is a walrus. Blowhole Joe is accused of entering a VIP walrus club called Tusks under the pretense of being Russell Wall, running up his tab and spreading vicious rumors about him. So that is all extremely damning in the eyes of a kangaroo court. And also, in terms of the mechanics, I will be asking my players to roll a d12 after they've made each of their arguments. If they get a 7 to 9, that's a basic success, that's 1 point. If they get a resounding success, that's 10 plus, that's 2 points. And I will be keeping track of those, adding them all up, and the team with the most points at the end of the game will win. And it's not because they're necessarily right, it's because the jury believes them. So
That's the only thing that matters.
yes. And each player also has 3 perk points that they can spend. So they can spend any at any time and as many as they want on a roll. Each point is worth +1. But the main way to get ahead in this game is to make animal puns. You get a +1 to your roll for each animal pun that you make. And they stack, so you can just keep them coming, and the more groan-worthy, the better in my book. So,
Oh, God.
So yeah.
I may or may not have come prepared for this.
Excellent. I am looking forward to this immensely. And so at the start of the trial, you are all gathered in just outside the marine enclosure, because a lot of the animals would not like to get their feet wet necessarily, but it needs to be close enough by so that the walrus and the dolphin can comfortably swim around while this is going on, though they may kind of poke their heads up above the water with their flippers on the edge of the marine enclosure when it's their time. And the judge, Rex Mane, who is a resplendent lion with a beautiful mane, is sitting up at the podium, which is sort of impromptu tree stump, sort of a fake tree stump that visitors usually use as a place to eat their picnic sandwiches on. And he's like, all right, we are gathered here today for a very solemn occasion to prosecute the dolphin Blowhole Joe, who has been accused of stealing the identity of Russell Wall, an upstanding walrus. We will find out whether this dolphin is guilty or innocent, and our wonderful prosecution and defense lawyers will do their utmost to make sure this trial is fair and just.
In that case, Your Honor, I'd like to object immediately from the get-go. You gave no sort of indication as to the upstandardness of our defendant, but you were immediately willing to call the prosecution's clientele as an upstanding member of society. Already, you are painting our defendant in a negative light. And, Your Honor, I must point out, that is uncalled for.
Your Honor, another objection. The counsel's testifying.
Well, I do see that I may have been rather hasty in my description of events, so I do apologize to my esteemed colleagues. but I am sure that the truth will out, as in all of these cases. So, first of all, I would love for the prosecution to present their opening arguments. Please tell me what sequence of events you will be describing for us today and why the jury should put forward a guilty verdict for Blowhole Joe.
Wow. Crawl, do you wanna kick us off?
Why not? Yes. May I address the jury directly as I speak?
Yes, of course.
Ladybirds and jellyfish of the jury. Today you will hear a sordid tale. The tale of an unscrupulous dolphin who, wishing only to steal the good reputation of as has been stated, a fine, upstanding walrus.
Truly his only porpoise.
Oh,
Indeed, indeed. Quite with spite, with malice, Blowhole Joe, who you see in the dock of this marine enclosure right now, took the identity of Russell Wall, and with the sole purpose, as has been said, of destroying his reputation. The Tusks Club, another fine, upstanding institution of London Zoo.
objection. That is not actually a good club.
That is to be determined by the evidence,
It's
surely, Your
mediocre.
Honour. Not only the reputation of the walrus Russell Wall, but the reputation of the club itself has been besmirched by the callous actions of this dolphin, playing on the so-called charisma of his species. You will hear how Blowhole Joe assumed the identity of Russell Wall. You will hear how Blowhole Joe waltzed into Tusks in this assumed identity, and you will hear how Blowhole Joe racked up a bigger tab than Russell Wall would ever have been so reckless as to take. And that by Blowhole Joe's actions, Russell Wall's immaculate reputation has deeply, deeply suffered among his peers and his community, and this wider London Zoo community as well. You have anything to add, my colleague?
This dolphin truly has besmirched the porpoise of the London Zoo. He has besmirched our good name, and I promise you, the jury, that today we are going to clear the name of this good-hearted walrus who has done nothing wrong and who has, of course, been nothing but a victim. I'm digging for puns, but I'm not finding any. Thank you.
Jury members, when you have heard all the arguments from both sides, I am confident that you will vote guilty and send Blowhole Joe to Wormwood Scrubs.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Excellent. I was poised to say that you were going to add a +3 to that roll, but with that last Wormwood Scrubs, you get a +4 to your roll. So please roll for me, either of you, to figure out how well the jury takes this.
I think +4 means we don't need a perk point on this. We'll save them for the main argument. That's an 11 on the dice.
Ooh!
Amazing. So you instantly get 2 points in the bank. That's a very good start. All right. Rex Main will now turn to the defense and say, well, now it is time for the defense to present their opening arguments. Please tell the jury why they should present a not guilty verdict in the case of Blowhole Joe.
Sheldon will stand up slowly, pull his bracers out. Out. That was intentional. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Your Honor, I'm here today to tell you that the arguments presented by my colleagues on the other side of the aisle are totally hypocritical. They will stand there and say that the upstandardness of their client has been besmirched, but I stand here before you to say that surely, if anyone's personage has been besmirched, it is my client, Blowhole Joe. They are dog leading you down the path to the wrong conclusion. And well, look where we've already got to. They must be kidding us right now. And it is the silliest thing I've ever heard. I have calling into question their very qualifications. Now listen, I don't mean to be sheepish about it, but I will be honest. You can only take a horse to water, but you cannot make it drink. So I stand before you, and I assure you that I will do my best to elucidate and extrapolate the evidence presented before you to give you the correct verdict, which is that of not guilty. Our client has done nothing illegal. And I will not stand here and allow my colleagues to bore us all with their nonsense. Now, I will present to you today evidence and witnesses who will attest to the fact that what has occurred here is nothing more than a misunderstanding. Our client did never intentionally set out to besmirch the name of anyone, let alone the prosecution's client. And I must stand here before you, my hands bared before you in open supplication. And I do apologize as I'm getting a little bit hoarse, so I must go for a drink.
Objection, bad pun.
But I hope you will bear with me, and we will present to you the correct conclusion to this case, which is a not guilty verdict. Thank you. And he will sit back down.
At this, Bolly is kind of looking mouth agape.
What he said. Yeah. Not guilty. No.
At this, she puts her hand. You see her. I'm assuming there's water on the table.
I mean, I've got mine's a mojito, but go on.
Yeah. She picks up the bottle of the water. What brand is the water?
I'm going to say Volvic.
Yeah, she looks at it,
good
turns her
choice.
nose up, puts it down, bends down, and she's got a little cool bag. And she unzips her little cool bag. She takes out some nondescript but very niche, high-end sparkling water and a martini glass. Then she gets another little bag inside the bag, puts a couple of ice cubes in it, pours the water, gets a couple of slices of cucumber, pops them in it, and then another little bag and gets a few prawns and puts them on the side.
Not for eating, they just cheer her on the whole time.
And then she just holds it up.
And then I lean across the line. Now, Barley, don't be shellfish. Make sure to share.
She hands him a prawn.
I think that is possibly a total of 15 puns on just one.
Maddy, you really need to institute some rules about a cat on how many puns is allowed.
This is unprecedented in all of my playtests.
I believe I
exhaust them all
checked. Oh no, I'll just wait and I'll bring them back in different ways. I'll bring them back in a different way later on. You'll even notice. But I'm assuming that it's only there's no sort of like, it's literally you win, and regardless of how many points you win by, it's still just one win. So there's no point in me rolling here.
Yeah, you get 2 points regardless because you got more than 10 puns. So yeah, just can you keep this up for the whole game? That's the big.
Like
question.
I say, I will reuse them, but in different ways. And again, I lean as the jury are sat dumbstruck. I lean over to Bolly again and say, I find it weird that our legal system relies entirely on animal puns, but as you can see with my years of experience, I have come equipped.
Well, there's no need to be shrew, so.
Very good, Barley. I see you're learning quick.
All right. Now that hullabaloo is out of the way, let us proceed.
Baloo, I know that bear.
Oh yes, he's a big fan. He always comes to sit in the audience.
Of course, he's over in the viewing gallery right now.
Filthy nails.
He traveled all the way from India to get here? What?
Oh yes,
he's on
here
loan.
Yeah, he's on the transfer loan. Yes.
That's scarily accurate for the British.
Yes.
Oh no, we have to give this one back.
Oh.
All right. So now it is time for the prosecution to present their evidence and their witnesses. You may present them in any order you wish. You have 3 pieces of evidence, I believe. For the audience's benefit, these are pre-rolled. Both the prosecution and the defense have 3 pieces of evidence, and they also can present 3 witnesses. The evidence are rolled on 3 different tables. The witnesses, you can just make them up. Please, and then also, after each piece of evidence or witness has been presented, the defense has a chance to cross-examine the witness. Now, Kroll Newman and what's your name again, young man? Ernest Walton, please present to me your first piece of evidence or your first witness.
Kroll, may I?
Please.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, and such of the jury, I'm gonna take the bull by the horns here, all right? The defense are gonna try and duck and weave and tell you all sort of different stories. They think you're some sort of bird-brained bunch of buffoons, or baboons, as they say. But I will tell you the truth. This here dolphin is the possessor of the key piece of evidence that needs no further introduction. You might think, hey, this guy's got a bee in his bonnet, but let me tell you something. I know for a fact that this man is innocent because he is in the possession of 1 certificate for a walrus costume.
I would like to point out, Your Honor, that the prosecution has just informed the jury that our client is innocent, and therefore I would like all charges dropped.
What did I say?
He just said that he was innocent because of this one key piece of information.
He's guilty. I mean. Your Honor, there were too many puns. I got confused.
I also liked that the judge didn't notice that.
I'm flying off the handle. Hey, badum.
I was too busy counting how many puns there were to notice any inconsistencies in the argument. I apologize. That's the jury's job.
Because of this absurd scoring system, our legal system is based off. I was confused.
Can we see the certificate?
Well, of course, made out to one blowhole Joe in exchange for one pristine walrus costume, and it's dated the day of the crime in question.
Now, Barley, I believe that we have one of our witnesses may be able to have a look at this later, but I will not contest this piece of evidence, and in fact, I believe that it's clear to see that you are correct. This is, in fact, 1 certificate for a walrus costume made out to Blowhole Joe. And we may circle back to this later, but please, do continue.
Now I tell you, members of the jury, what kind of unbearable dolphin would have a walrus costume? I'll tell you what they wouldn't, and this is the core key to this case. And unless my co-chair Crawl, do you have anything to add in this particular circumstance?
Nothing to add to this piece of evidence. I'll pick up the baton in a moment.
Oh, that's right. That's what we got.
The baton.
Ooh, it's another pun. Score one for us. I will rest my case for now.
Okay, I think that comes to 10, which is also another 2 points.
Good. I'm gonna roll the dice anyways because I like rolling dice.
Cool. Let's see how big a number we got.
If the first round was in the go by, we might have to be rolling the dice even with this number of puns.
It is the 6 on the die.
Cool. So 16 total. Excellent.
So Bolly is going to take the certificate to have a look. She's going to look to see if the perforated bit has been falsified in any way. She's also going to lick her thumb and see if the ink's fresh. She's going to look at the numbers, anything that might look like it might possibly be, counterfeit in some way. But she's also going to make sure she's going to look exactly where it's from, what the business is. And she also happens to have a beauty light on her area because, so she holds it up to there just to see if it looks genuine.
Objection, Your Honor. The defense had plenty of time to examine the evidence at discovery.
I think you'll find this is the first time we've seen this piece of evidence. So just out of curiosity, this is sort of above game question. Obviously, we can cross-examine witnesses. What's the sort of play with evidence? Do we now get a chance to sort of explain why this evidence may work in our favor instead, or do we just sort of gloss over that for now?
I think that I think it's fair for you to give you a chance to say that this piece of evidence is not working for the opposite side if you want.
Cool. With Bolly checking all of the things for counterfeit, I will, when she's finished, take it off her. I'm assuming you found nothing of sort of untoward about it.
Other than the company name, which is the company we think it might be.
You have to remind me of that. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So I again take the piece of paper, stand up. I was like, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, my colleague here has overlooked one key fact that makes this piece of evidence completely irrelevant to this court case.
Now, how do puns work in the rebuttal?
Now, they take away from... I'm going to make up a rule. I said they take away from your point. Nah. Now, if you'll draw your attention, please, to the name of the company that issued this certificate, you'll see that it's the Shakespearean Theatre Company. The company that my client, Blowhole Joe, is an actor in. This is his costume for an upcoming performance, issued to him by the company as he is a method actor and likes to wear it in his free time to stay in character. Thank you, Your Honor. And I'll sit back down.
Matt, I've got a brilliant strategy. I'm going to message you.
Bolly pulls the certificate back and goes, oh, wait, look, the seal is broken.
That is, I count that as 3 puns in the rebuttal. Please roll.
Oh, wait, so we're actually rolling for this? I didn't realize I would have done way more puns if we were rolling for this.
No, it's all good. This is like the amount of puns
10.
I normally expect. 10. Great. Excellent. Another 2 points. This is neck and neck.
Oh, God.
All right. So, very well.
I mean, that's only their first piece of evidence.
Yeah,
We've still got 2 more and witnesses to go.
Oh, my God. We're going to be here all night.
All right. Let's pick up the pace now. I've got a Pilates class to be at 9. Let's get through this. Okay, next piece of evidence or witness from the prosecution, please.
Of course, Your Honor. I would like to present this half-eaten banana, which I will show through expert witness testimony, irrefutably places Blowhole Joe at the scene in the VIP Tusks Club where no dolphin is allowed to be. I would like to call the expert witness Professor Finn.
Lockhart.
Thank you. My colleague is managing the paperwork.
Sorry, Lockhart. His name's Lock.
You
Crawl,
need to
you
get
gotta read the
yourself-
notes.
You should get yourself an assistant like mine. So Sumi said she just dictates everything.
We're not all fancy lawyers who can afford these things. Some of us work on a government budget.
I believe my colleague being prosecution would not be working on a government budget, but is in fact being paid by his client. Am I incorrect?
I believe we're all working in the legal system of London Zoo, which may or may not bear any resemblance to the human legal system. I would also like to point out that legal puns don't get the defense any points.
Wait, when did I make a legal pun?
Professor Finn Lockhart is, of course, a shark and a bite mark analysis expert, and can provide expert testimony that the bite marks on this half-eaten banana, which was found in the Tusks Club, where I may remind the jury only walruses are allowed, can prove that the bite marks on this half-eaten banana could only have been made by a dolphin.
And so this shark sort of slumps up to the stand, flops over the side of the marine enclosure, and does little hippity hops up to the stand, and then kind of stands on its tail with two little flippers on the podium, and
Professor,
goes, yes, may I help?
Professor Lockhart, do you bear to snail the goose, the mole goose, and duckling but the goose?
I get it now.
So help you dog.
I, as the GM, don't know how many puns that was.
Objection, Your Honor. That is the role of the hell's their name? Oh, I didn't do any research. The prosecution should not be carrying out the swearing in process, so I would like those comments stricken from the record.
Also, objection, confusing the witness.
Objection. I don't like any of these people.
I mean, I promise to tell the truth. I promise to tell the truth. Please ask me whatever you wish. I'm a shark.
I want
That's what
every
sharks
witness to
sound
introduce
like.
themselves like that. I was like, and I'm a shark.
Jury members, please note that our expert witness is a shark. Professor Lockhart, we showed you this half-eaten banana before the trial, did we not?
Yes, you did.
And you told us in your expert testimony, which is all written down in this paperwork, which we're providing to the jury, that you testified, did you not, that the bite marks on this banana could only have been made by dolphin teeth, definitely not walrus teeth. Is that correct in your expert opinion?
Yes, that is correct. They were small and kind of rounded, whereas walrus teeth are much more blunted, and the tusks marks were nowhere to be seen.
I believe that what this means is that Blowhole Joe was irrefutably at the scene and could not have had any alibitros for the crime.
Totally beyond the doubt.
Could
Did
I? Sorry.
Would you agree with that assessment of the scientific facts, Professor?
Yes, of course.
Then, unless my colleague has any questions for the expert witness, I cede the floor for Cross.
Please make your roll before the cross-examination commences.
May I add one more question?
Yes.
Professor, I'm understanding from your testimony that you've given that some fin could not be amiss with these teeth. It's impossible that someone could do this on purpose.
Yes, it is. It is
Objection, Your Honor. I believe that is now the 5th time we have heard the porpoise pun used.
I don't care.
Yes, it is quite impossible for these teeth marks to be faked. There is an analysis that we carried out on the teeth of Blowhole Joe himself, and they match perfectly.
Objection, Your Honor. I believe my colleague Bolly has something to say about that.
Well, thank you, Sheldon.
Objection,
I do.
Your Honor. That wasn't actually an objection. It was
Objection,
they
Your
want
Honor.
to say
Yes,
something.
it was.
Objection, it's not their time.
Continue. Sorry. Can I cross-reference the witness?
Objection, Your Honor. We haven't rolled yet.
Oh.
Yes, you may roll the ceremonial die.
They roll in a massive D12. Clonk, clonk.
That's a 9 on the die.
Ooh,
How many
high
puns
rolls, high
did we
rolls.
get in the end?
You got like 5 at least, so yeah, that's another 2 points for sure. So yeah, you're up to 6.
If we object and we throw another pun in, do we get points taken off of the other team while it's their go, or do we not get any points for us?
that is not in the rules as written, but something
It
that I might
should
consider
be.
in a
I was gonna
future
say,
edition.
It should be.
Oh god.
Objection
Do we really
puns.
want this to keep going? Like just people
Yes.
talking over great content, guys. It's just grown people yelling
Objection.
animal puns over each other.
Objection puns are just for your own enjoyment. They have no mechanical benefit.
I mean, let's also point out puns in general are just for your own enjoyment, as everyone else hates them.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, would the defense like to comment on this witness testimony? Would they like to cross-examine?
May I come forward to the witness?
You may.
So Bolly stands up, and you start. She's all legs, and she starts sort of walking towards the witness. And you start hearing in the background. You can just about hear. You think you can hear music that sounds hell of a lot like RuPaul's Drag Race or CoverGirl. But you're like, where's the music
Good.
coming from? It's really quite, but not so similar that we could get in trouble
Gotta
for
wet
using their
go.
song. But just enough. And you realise it's coming from Hermione by a dictaphone. She's walking, she's strutting. So she goes up to did you say he's a shark? She's a shark, Professor.
Yes.
So, hi. So you say that the half-eaten banana is it shows that it's dolphin teeth. Now, what I would like to say, did you say that you've recently matched Blowhole Joe's dental record?
Yes, the mouth sample was taken just yesterday.
You see, I find that really hard to believe because I know for a fact that Blowhole Joe, hi Blowhole, he had some veneers done from an awful back alley dental esthetician. Now, I know with that kind of esthetician, I know teeth. Now, with that kind of esthetician, there is no way you could eat banana with the enzymes. They would destroy them. Isn't that right, Blowhole Joe? Show us your teeth.
Does he have, and with that, she wants to prove basically that his teeth, they just wouldn't, his veneers would be melted.
Yeah, I think as the jury looks across at this dolphin, you just see these horrible melting teeth, just sort of one slightly dripping piece.
As you can see, Your Honor, the enzymes have been damaging the enamel on his teeth.
Oh,
They're proving a point, Your Honor.
This proves that Blowhole Joe didn't eat the half-eaten banana.
No,
And
unfortunately,
therefore
the
was
teeth
in
marks
cups.
could not match, as he has very few teeth left. Look, he doesn't have a single molar remaining.
Also, we're not actually denying that he was in the club. This is not.
That's a very good point, Bali. At no point have we made the argument that Blowhole Joe was not in the club, but we would like to point out that he in no way could have eaten this banana, and we would call into question the qualifications of your witness.
Your Honor, if the defense are not refuting the fact that that Blowhole Joe was in the club, then what is the point of this cross-examination?
I would like to point out.
I
is not
submit that it
illegal.
is simply an opportunity for them to make more puns.
No, Your Honor, it is in fact our way of proving that the prosecution do not have a leg to stand on. Much like my colleague Bolly, who is all legs. No, they are simply grasping at straws and trying to find anything they can to throw our client under the bus, like
You're
so
right.
much
These are
roadkill.
not animal puns.
That point
That
about
last one was in fact an animal pun about roadkill. If you hadn't tried to talk over me.
that point about legs was a discriminatory remark, and I would like the defense to be held in contempt.
I do apologize, Mr. Newman. I'm simply trying to come out of my shell.
All right, I think that is a count of 5 potentially. So
I certainly wasn't counting.
Yeah, I'm trying my best. So yes, please may Bolly or Sheldon roll for
Bolly,
this.
feel free. I ruled the last one. Bear in mind they had 5 as well. Do you want to use any perk points on this?
You can always apply perk points after the roll.
Lost
You
me,
don't have,
hang on.
you don't
I've
have to
lost-
declare it early.
Okay, so how many points have we got to add on to this?
5.
5. And we need above how many to get? Sorry, what's the?
You 7 to 9 is 1 point, and 10 plus is 2 points.
I'll add 1 point. I'll add 1 perk point. If that's what it's called. Yeah, 1 perk point. I rolled a 4, and we have 5, so that'd be 10.
Awesome. All right. So still neck and neck. Very well. Does the prosecution have any further evidence or witnesses to bring to the court?
Well, of course, Your Honor. Of course.
I like that both of you went.
No, I was merely gesturing wildly. Of course, Your Honor. Of course we have more to bring.
Your Honor, I'd like to point out that the prosecution are turning this zoo courtroom into nothing more than a circus. They don't even know who their next witness might be.
Well, Your Honor, I would like
It's
to call.
catastrophic.
I would like to call as witness Ophelia Fowl, the director of the play that our very dolphin is in right now.
And
Little
what
bird.
kind of bird is it? That
I'm gonna say like a budgie, like the littlest bird you've ever seen.
yeah, a little. One of the attendants in the court brings out a little perch, places it on the podium, the fake log podium, and this little budgie flaps in. He goes, "Hello."
Well, thank you so much for being here. Now, I'm not gonna take up too much of your time. I'm no Finn, if not a gentleman in that regard. Now, we gotta talk about this whole chicken and egg scenario we've got going on here. Was he in fact in the costume because he was an actor or because he was a con artist? And I'm here to prove both. You, as our defense...
Objection, Your Honor. That is dog leading the witness by implying that he is here to prove a certain thing, when in
This
fact it
is
is up to
rough
the
stuff.
witness to prove what has occurred.
Making them go in as blind as a bat.
Might as well carry on.
Utter nonsense.
I
Now.
honestly don't know much law at all. I'm just watching this like TV. Keep going. This is great. And he gets out
Good
some like
stuff.
Popcorn.
yeah, he gets out like a popcorn carton, but filled with like scraps of meat.
Oh, God.
Everyone else on in the jury. Goo!
Ew.
Now, Miss Ophelia, you are the director of the play that Mr. Blowhole Joe is in right now. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I've heard that the part that he's playing is one of a horrifying con artist. Is that right?
Yes, yeah, that is correct.
Ah, and we just heard our defense say that this gentleman was merely in a costume of a walrus because he was a method actor. I've heard that when he's method acting, he's a bit bullish. A bit.
Objection, Your Honor. Once again, leading the witness with statements.
Badgering the witness.
Would you agree, Miss Ophelia?
Yes, he's very like Joaquin Phoenix in that fact. He's
In the Jonker. That's not a pun, that's just a joke.
yeah, he can be quite mean when he's in character.
Would you agree with the statement that he's foul-mouthed?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Of course. And I've heard that he likes to use the phrase "follow the monkey."
I don't see how that's particularly relevant, but yes,
I
that's
just
a line
heard
in.
it.
Yeah,
I
that's a
just
line
heard
in
that
the
he
play.
likes to say that.
Yeah. There's
Just thought
a
I'd-
bit in the play where there's a monkey and it's running away and he has to
course.
chase it.
Of course. And would you think that it's reasonable for someone of that type of behavior to become a con artist in real life?
Objection,
know.
Your Honor. That has no basis in fact. That is, in fact, an extrapolation of a theory and does not have anything to do with the truth of the case.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know him that well. I just know him as the asshole who calls me names because he thinks it's in character or whatever.
So am I right in thinking that he's been acting as his character of the con artist in everyday life?
Well, I only really see him during rehearsals, but I went to the zoo cafe one time, and he was being real feisty with the lady who runs it. He was just he was just squeaking and squeaking at her. It was really terrible, and sounds like he was kind of trying to extort her for money or something.
Like she was the cash cow of some kind.
Yeah, something like
Right.
that.
Interesting. So we not only have established the pattern of behavior, but he clearly was looking for some. He was going after people for their money like there was some kind of sitting duck.
Yeah, I think that's one interpretation you could have, sure.
I rest my case, Your Honor. I'm sure I had something like 5 or 6 puns in there.
Yeah, I think I counted 8.
There we go, 8 puns.
So yeah.
Is there anything to add, Crawl?
I think that's plenty. I'll save mine for the next bit.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, keep your stuff in the barrel for the next one.
All right.
I don't know why I'm contributing. I'm just here as a witness.
I'm going to roll now.
Yes.
That is a 9 on the die for a
Nice.
total of that's 16.
Yes. Yeah, that sounds right to me. Okay, so that is 8 points total for you so far. Now, Rex will turn to the defense and say, does anyone on the defense team have any questions for this budgie?
Sorry, can I just say one thing? Firstly, I know from reading, I was trying to think of a pun for Heat magazine, but I couldn't think of one.
Cheap magazine.
Cheap is good.
Heat magazine, but
I was going to say In Heat magazine.
Oh,
yeah.
that's a top
I-
shelf. That's a top shelf.
You talked about, you mentioned that he, with his method acting, is more Joaquin Phoenix, but I would personally say that he's more Spaniel J. Shrewis with his method style. He lives as the part. It says so in the article.
Oh yeah, that's probably a better pool. Yeah, I got you. I understand.
And with that, Sheldon will stand up. I was like, Now, ma'am, I have a couple of questions to ask. As you said, first of all, I'd like to point out to the jury that during your testimony, you said that while Blowhole Joe was speaking in the cafeteria, he could only, as established so far in this court case, communicate in squeaking noises. Now, what person in their right mind is not going to be totally confused by a walrus that can only communicate in squeaks? And second of all, I'd just like to point out, you say you believe or think you may have heard him try to extort someone, but did you ever, in fact, see him extort someone for money or any other sort of kickbacks or anything of the sort?
Well, I just saw him squeaking real loud, and then in this scenario, he's a customer. He should be giving her money, but she gave him money instead. I thought that was weird.
I mean, do we not know for a fact that this could have been some transaction that has gone wrong? Now, again, I don't personally speak Dolphin. We've had a translator in when we were meeting with our client. And could it not be a case that the proprietor of this establishment also didn't speak Dolphin, and after an exchange it was determined that adequate service had not been provided and they were, in fact, just refunding them for a service that had gone unanswered?
I mean, sure, that's possible.
Or could it not be like some kind of cashback for leaving tips?
Or a reward scheme?
I guess. I mean, yeah, they do have those little stamps that you can collect as a little parrot. They get the
Exactly.
parrot to hold the stamp with the parrot symbol on it, and it goes like this. It's very cool. The kids love it.
Now, I'm not going to parrot the same argument back to you, and I'll sparrow us all the details further, but I believe that there is no evidence so far that proves the Blowhole Joe has committed any crime. And while, yes, he is a method actor, and in that acting, in his method, he portrays an asshole that is very well known by everyone in the performance company and those who spend any length of time with him, as I too can rightly attest. He has not dropped character at all, for the performance still hasn't finished. Isn't that right, Joe? That's none of that language, Joe. We're in a courthouse. But please, only take into consideration the facts that are presented, not extrapolation. I rest my case.
Wonderful. I think I counted 5 puns there potentially. So
Does that
I
include
don't think
volleys?
any of us are keeping track.
yeah,
Does that include my 3 in one?
I think possibly. No, yeah, maybe it's more like I honestly have no idea.
Joe, we'll rule, and then whatever
yeah.
I rule, we assume we got 2 points.
Yeah, probably. It's very likely.
It's a 6. I think we're above
Yeah.
10.
I think you're above 10 for sure. Yeah. All right. Fantastic. I'm finding that my very specific rules for this court case are becoming increasingly redundant, but that is fine.
Your Honor, it's almost like we should be relying on the facts presented, not the number of puns we can come up with.
No, there's something not right about that. I don't think that's correct.
I retract
well.
my statement.
Thank you. All right. Any further evidence or witnesses from the prosecution?
Yes, Your Honor, I would like to call the walrus Russell Wall.
Bum, bum, bum.
Very well. And a large and ample walrus.
Ample, yeah.
Doesn't just climb over the wall of the marine enclosure. It bursts through the wall of the marine enclosure, starting to flood the courtroom.
Water everywhere.
Water everywhere. Just, yeah. Other walruses just sort of spilling out, and other dolphins just sort of flopping about on the ground around.
Ollie puts one leg up.
Crawl Newman gets up on Ernest's back.
Sheldon stands in the water. Wow, this reminds me of my time back home in the bayou.
And yes, this walrus with the most magnificent moustache you have ever seen, and two very beautiful, well polished tusks, proceeds towards the stand.
Russell Wall, I just have a few questions for you, if that's all right by you.
Of course.
I'd like to start with you telling this court about the culture among VIP walruses here at London Zoo.
Well, we take our status as VIP members very seriously. We use the club to discuss important political issues, such as ticket prices in the zoo, and whether that affects the number of visitors and the number of fish that we are fed as a result.
Ah, yes, ticket prices. Yes, follow the monkey, as people often say.
Yes, absolutely. That's because they have a little monkey printed on the ticket. Yes, that's correct. So, also, we are generally rather abstemious with the amount of drinks that we buy. We tend to go for mostly Shirley Temples. That's our favourite walrus beverage. Occasionally we might dip into a G&T, but that is only for very special occasions.
Very good, yes. And so, Mr. Wall, if hypothetically speaking, an individual were to enter Tusk's, your VIP club, this very genteel, very refined space, wearing a walrus costume, giving your name to the personages therein, and method acting as a con man who's an asshole, even if that person even if that person had the best of intentions and was only trying to be a better actor, would you not say that that person would fill the normally genteel atmosphere of Tusks with pandemonium?
Yes, of course. It would cause quite the kerfuffle.
Even if that person were doing it merely on a lark, say, it would still cause damage to your and your club's reputation. Would you not agree?
Of course. Especially if they were using my name. It is a very, very important name in this zoo.
Yes, and it would not do for anyone to catch you in that club eating a banana with melting teeth, say.
Absolutely not.
Then I believe we have shown this court that regardless of Blowhole Joe's intentions in entering the club, damage has indeed been done, and Russell Wall deserves his side of the scales of justice to be weighted.
Very well, thank you very much. You may now roll the ceremonial die.
How many puns was that?
I think that was 4.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
That's an 11 on the die.
Ooh. Incredible. All right, up to 10.
The scales of justice are so balanced.
Fantastic. Very well. Would the defense like to cross-examine the witness?
Of course, Your Honor. Barley, I believe you have a question.
Sorry, it was just a quick one. It was so there hasn't been any evidence that I can see of Blowhole Joe actually giving your name. All that's been seen and said is that he went into a club dressed as a walrus with your likeness. Now, can I just ask, with this club and with the people around, would you say they're kind of brutish and bullish and just mean?
And that it's a bit of a dog-eat-dog world in the club?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I mean, we are all very successful business walruses at this club, and we do have a bit of a healthy rivalry going on, where we are constantly checking in on the figures of our walrus investments. If I put the word walrus in front of it, it makes it walrusy, you see.
So somebody who actually gave your name properly would be quite beastly, but as we have seen so far, or what we've heard so far, is he only went into the club in a walrus outfit. And I'm sure there's more than one walrus.
Yes, there are in fact at least 7 walruses at any one time in the club. Because we are so large, it takes us quite a while to. The club is out of the water, so it takes a lot of shuffling about to actually get in and out. So there's often a bit of congestion going on.
So quite.
I believe what my colleague is trying to get at, so is that if someone were to come along and be mistaken for one such as yourself, by only acting like an asshole, then surely that would say much more about yourself than our client.
I mean, I must say that I am quite a formal and well-mannered individual, and though I may speak my mind, I always couch it in the most ceremonious terms, and I doubt that Mr. Blowhole Joe would take such care with his words or his speaks.
That is very amusing, but as we've pointed out, he has never claimed your name. He never took on your identity. He merely went in dressed in a very fine, apparently, walrus costume, or else, as you say, there are only 7 walruses in the club at any given time. Surely if someone went in a very obvious costume pretending to be a walrus, why, that would be like putting the fox amongst the hens, would it not? They would surely cry foul at such a thing, and no doubt would be a hard egg to crack. Now, I don't mean to herd you towards a specific outcome here, but again, surely if he never gave a name and only acted as his character from the theater, that says more about your personage than anyone else's.
Well, I must say you have a way with words, but
I'm celebrating on the inside.
But I must say that this does not account for the fact that my tab was run up to sky high when I got back.
I do apologize, Mr. Wall. I did not mean to get your goat, but...
I'm sorry, did you say you apologize?
I did, in fact. Yeah. But we will get to that particular issue with our evidence that we'll be presenting later. I merely wish to call into question whether or not the fact that our client ever actually claimed your name ever arose, which, as we could hear, did not.
Very well.
I believe we could all quit horsing around now and get on to the defense's presentation.
Okay, I think I counted 11 there.
Now hold your horses. I've got one more.
He's got one more in the barrel.
Like a barrel of monkeys.
Barrel.
Oh, barrel as well. That's 2 more then.
Nice. So yeah, we're at 10 points each, neck and neck. So how many witnesses have we had from the prosecution? I think we've had 3.
3 witnesses and 2 pieces of evidence because neither of us wants to touch the other one.
I didn't realize we'd had we have had 3 witnesses.
Yes. So we have.
Well, I'll
one
tell
more
you
piece
what.
of evidence.
I was gonna say, if you guys literally don't want to present the literal shit, and for the sake of time, we could drop one of ours if you want.
Oh, it's up to you. I mean, it depends how long you want this to go on for, really.
I think we're making good time at the moment. So yeah. So I'm very happy to showcase one of the wonderful and hilarious options that I include in my game, which is that one of your pieces of evidence can be some feces. So the very scientifically named feces. So please let the defense continue with their next portion of their argument.
I
Lovely
apologize.
job
I apologize
falls
to
to
my
me.
colleague. I meant to work it into the last witness and completely forgot.
It is absolutely fine. I spent this whole time thinking we had an extra witness and was preparing for a witness. Fuck.
Very well. What are you
Right.
chortling about?
So, furries and friends of the jury, I think you'll find that there is one key piece of evidence that is being forgotten. The quality of this evidence cannot be expanded upon. In the very bank where the fraudulent wire transfers happened.
Objection, Your Honor. There were no fraudulent wire transfers.
There were not. There were not. In the very bar. Oh, I cannot do this. Okay. Where did this happen? Where is this shit? I don't know.
Was it in the VIP club Tusks?
I'm trying to
I
disprove the point. Right?
Perhaps
Objection.
I,
Was it in
Losing
the Marine
confidence.
enclosure?
Losing confidence in the prosecution.
Objection, I'm losing confidence, Your Honor.
we have already heard how the defendant, Blowhole Joe, not only ran up a big bar tab for Russell Wall, but also spread vicious rumors about Russell Wall.
It's
And-
so true.
One of these vicious rumors was that Russell Wall has a nasty, embarrassing infectious disease, which would cause his high-powered colleagues in the club
Conjecture.
to. This is dare say, perhaps,
That's the word I
but
was
not
looking for earlier.
conjecture.
It would transform him into a so-called dark horse of the walrus world.
The black sheep, if you will, of the walrus world, and.
It's utterly atrocious what has been done to the good name of this sheepskate.
And I'm sure the jury will thank us on the prosecution team for not going into any more detail than that, other than to direct them to the relevant item in the evidence packet. It speaks for itself. It sheeps for itself completely.
Well. Come
I've
back
already
from
used that one.
We would have been sharking our duties if we had not presented this final piece of evidence. So I thank Your Honor for prompting us.
It's no problema.
So just out of curiosity, since there was literally no argument made and just a lot of puns, how does that work?
No, I think the argument was that there was a bunch of poop that was this person.
That was there. It was present.
And the jury will find that the poop in question could be traced back the DNA-wise to one and only Blowhole Joe.
I believe that DNA analysis was never carried out due to the fact that the feces in question has been so tampered by all the walruses walking over it.
Holy.
Can we see do you have a list of all the compositions of the poop?
All in the evidence packet.
Were you not paying attention in Discovery?
Don't blame me. So sue me. Why wasn't you giving me this information? Anyway,
So, Bolly, looking at the composition, can see in the poop, there is no evidence of banana in said poop. There is no bromelain. Bromelain? Bromelain. I think it's bromelain. Which
This
is one
isn't
of
RP
the...
Geeks.
It's bromelain, I think, which is one of the enzymes in a banana.
Excellent. I think that the prosecution got about 12 puns in there, so another 2 points from them.
This is
but
gonna
yeah,
end up in a tie, in a solid
absolutely.
tie.
we might have to do a lightning round of rolls to see, just unmodified
What is
rolls.
this whole thing gonna go to a roll off?
Yeah.
Or just the puns and not the actual arguments presented.
So,
Thus concludes our case, Your Honor.
very well. Any further comment on the feces evidence?
Look, I could just rattle off a bunch of puns here to get to the exact same result. Do we want to do that, or just move on to the defense?
I think that now
Is it
would be
worth points?
What? That's what I mean. Are we counting the points for this for the literal shit round?
I mean, we could institute a cap on the pun points, since you've broken my game with the number of puns that you made.
What can I say? We're hilarious.
No, you can't say that.
I mean, I can, but I'd be lying.
Lion.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think now would be an excellent time for a quick 10 to 15 minute break. And
Well,
So Maddy will scold us for the number of puns.
while I will rethink my life decisions, and we will be right back very soon. So take us away, producer John. We will be back very soon.
We'll see you soon.
And welcome back to Actual Play UK, where we are playing I'm Not Lion, an increasingly silly and ridiculous and animal pun-filled game about animal lawyers, which my wonderful and fantastic players have broken beyond belief. So we have instituted a pun cap of 5 puns per argument. So,
I think Maddy needs to otter reconsider.
absolutely. So now, starting up, Rex Main will adjust his robe, which I'm now deciding he's wearing, which is actually made out of his grandfather's skin. So that's kind of gory, but you know,
But very regal.
But very,
Very
regal.
regal.
And is like, very well, the prosecution have made their case. It is time for the defense to come forward with their evidence and witnesses. Please present your first to the jury.
Your Honor, I would like to call our first witness to the case for Miss Bolly to question and present her evidence for. I would like to call Dinah, the costumer for the theater company. Dinah is a weaver bird. And for everyone's benefit, actually, because we're capping puns, it doesn't really matter that this one is a pun. I just want people to know that I'm a massive fucking nerd.
But you're wearing. Can I just say though, you're wearing glasses now, so you have to do this while saying it as well.
Sorry, I think we don't have to do that. So I'm going to do that. Hold on, let me check my notes here. Here we go. Dinah is a weaver bird. Dynamelia reichenbach is the genus of the white-headed buffalo weaver, for which Dinah is named after. Over to you, Miss Bolly.
Thank you. So, Miss Diner.
Yes, hello.
Hello. So, you've worked in the theater a long time, and you make the clothes for the local theater. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
And would you say you've made clothes for a lot of performances?
Yes, every single performance that's happened, I've made the clothes for.
And would you say your ability is good, or in the high area, maybe 8 to 9 out of 10?
Oh yes, I've got lots of practice under my belt, and I've managed to put together some really quite fantastic costumes. Some of them you wouldn't believe are costumes. You'd think they were real.
That sounds amazing. So just bear with me a moment. So would you say, I'm trying to think of puns at the same time. Would you say that you would recognize any work that was your own?
Oh yes, of course. Yeah. I have a very signature style.
So you'd recognize the stitching and the shaping and.
Yes, absolutely. And I always do a little signature on the lining in yellow stitching so that it's not too visible, but you can see, and it says Dinah on every piece of clothing I make.
Would that be more of a canary yellow, or would that be more of a like a baby chicken yellow?
Oh, definitely canary, yes.
Okay. So if we provided you with some clothes, some costumes, could you identify whether they are ones that you've made before yourself?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So we do have some evidence. So have you worked with Blowhole Joe before?
Yes, we were on the play together. I was part of the team that constructed the amazing walrus costume. My team, including me and my husband, who hates do anything to do with clothes, but has to help me when his fabric is too big and I need him to hold the other side.
That sounds like something out of real life.
Is he?
Just for the court's benefit as well, I'd like to point out that because we keep dancing around the subject, but the name of the performance is The Wolf of Walrus Street.
Yes, that's correct.
I like the puns in there. Have you worked with Blowhole Joe for any other film, any other stage shows?
Oh yes, I think there were a couple beforehand. There was one where he was it was a dramatization of that weird thing that happened in the 70s where they gave dolphins drugs to see if they could teach them languages.
I'm sorry, I had to go above table here because I only read about this recently, and one person gave them hand jobs.
Yes.
Totally real. Read up on it. It happened.
You learn something new every day.
And sometimes you wish you didn't.
Yep, for sure.
Could that somehow count as a minus? I don't know. Dolphin sex acts feels some kind of detraction needs to happen.
It would, but the GM brought it up.
Yeah. It's entirely my own fault. I give myself minus 10 points.
We all lose points.
I tend to only watch the nicer aquatic films, so things like A Dolphin's Tale or Flipper. Well, that's TV, but you know. So you worked with him before, so you know how he can be very method.
Yes, of course. Yes, when he came into the fitting, he
Mhm.
was all like, "Hello, darling. How you doing?" Squeak, squeak, squeak. And then as soon as he put on the walrus costume, he was all grumpy like.
Okay, and have you ever experienced Russell Wall at all? Do you know a lot of his mannerisms and a lot of his quirks?
Well, I do know that he's a very ponderous kind of well-spoken gentleman.
And would you say that Blowhole Joe has ever said, "Hey, I'm a walrus called Russell Wall"? You know, has he ever been? Has he ever tried to have the same mannerisms, the same quirks as Russell Wall, or is he just doing his own version of a walrus?
Let me think. I think there wasn't a huge amount of similarities that I could notice. I think he went for a much more kind of in-your-face performance than I think that Russell Wall is a much more kind of reserved sort of chap. Yeah.
Okay, so getting back to the point. Sorry, I kind of went over there, but anyway, it's useful information to know. So, in regards to the costumes, as well, can we bring out the zookeeper costume? That was zookeeper, wasn't it? That we have, yeah.
Yeah, a bunch of very small birds from the aviary come out holding the outfit like it's in Cinderella.
This is from their previous performance. We bought a zoo.
So, do you recognize this work?
Oh yeah, I think that's one of mine. And she goes up and looks at the lining of the costume, and yeah, there, look, there's my signature there.
It is okay, and I'm not sure with the so with all the wardrobe and everything else, because he likes to be method, you tend to let him use the wardrobe whenever you like. Is that right?
Yeah, I think sometimes he likes to come in and try on some of the extra accessories. He kind of comes and goes as he pleases, and yeah, sometimes I'll just find him in there, just messing about with all the different clothes and things.
Okay, and has he always been an upstanding gentleman that you think you found, or have you ever had?
Sorry to interject, Bali, but I believe that last statement ties into our second piece of evidence, the key to the wardrobe.
It does indeed. So this is our other piece of evidence. We have a key. It's have you seen this monkey before?
Yes, I believe that is the key to the wardrobe.
It is. It is the darn key. So this is the key that you gave to or loaned to Blowhojo. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, and just a few other points as well as you work in the wardrobe, with your costumes, with the facial tusks and things like that as well. You'd recognize them all, is that right? So I'm getting a bit lost here where I'm going with this. So I'm going to go hand this over to my colleague for a moment.
It's all right, Bali. I'll take over.
Sheldon, it got too much.
It's all right, Bali. You're still learning. Your daddy would be very proud. I'll tell him what a wonderful job you've been doing.
I'll get you that promotion.
Since you have presented,
I'm already a partner.
Since you have presented a piece of evidence and a witness already, and you are moving on to another, you have a couple of rolls to make if you wish.
Yes. I was roughly counting. I think we managed 5 for each ish.
Yeah,
I think we had 3 different variations on key, so I think we're fine.
Yeah.
That one was a gimme.
Yeah.
So yeah, please do roll twice and add 5 to each of your rolls, plus any perk points that you want.
So 10
2 points.
and a 6.
Wait, 6 on the die?
Yeah. So
yeah,
10 on the die, 10 on the die, and a 6 on the die.
So that is 16 total for the defense currently. Excellent. So,
But did you have anything else to add, Sheldon, at all that you wanted to talk about at all?
Well, I believe we've got another piece of evidence, but in order to not seem that we're horsing around, I'm gonna
Or hogging all the airways.
or hogging the time we have here. I'm gonna.
I don't want to be a
bequeath
bore.
You're wasting these now. We're not getting a roll. I'll bequeath some of my time to my colleagues here to cross-examine the witness before we move on to the next piece of evidence.
very well.
I would relish the opportunity to cross-examine Dina, the costumer.
Hello, darling.
Good day.
That was a turn.
Good day and welcome to Maritime Court. We are all
We'll see
students
that the Union flag is being flown in a very specific way, which makes it different from the Union Jack.
Yeah, we're beholden to both zoo law and maritime law here.
And bird law.
Of course, and it's to that point that I wish to turn. Dina, would you describe yourself as an expert in your field?
I would, of course, yes. I'm very experienced.
And so,
I believe she is excellent at her job as well.
And so, therefore, to speak to the quality of your costuming, one who was wearing one of your costumes to change their aspect and pose as a different animal than what they were would chameleon-like be disguised as that other animal, and others who saw them in that costume would believe that they are that other animal. Do you agree?
Yes, of course. I create a wonderful illusion.
So
Can I just interject? Surely that's also being an actor? And
This
that's
all-
his job.
This all supports our case, Your Honor.
Okay.
And this, of course, all supports the mistaken identity that all of those in the club would indeed have believed that Blowhole Joe was Russell Wall while dressed in your fine costume. And just to turn to another point for a moment, and not to play Tasmanian Devil's Advocate, but I wonder, I saw the familiarity between yourself and my wonderful colleague in the defense, Bolly. And I just wondered, is there a relationship there? Are you birds of a feather?
No.
I was not asking my question to my defense colleague, Your Honor.
Objection, Your Honor. This is conjecture.
I think you'll find it's very relevant.
It's also a little racist, Your Honor. Surely just because they're two birds does not mean they know one another. That's like saying that me and
That's
Mr.
speciesist.
Newman are species jingoist, I might even add. Surely that's as bad as asking if myself and Mr. Newman, though we are in fact friends outside of work, surely anyone to make such an assumption would so also be classed as some sort of racist or jingoist or speciesist. I believe that is irrelevant to the case, as my colleague has already mentioned.
Speaking the rules.
I wouldn't ordinarily make such a point, but professionalism demands that I make puns, and that was one of them.
I mean,
I'll retract my objection.
we only really met during this case, so yeah. I'm usually over in the aviary, and she's over in the pool with all the little prawns in it.
In the corner office of my area. I own all of it.
Thank you, Dina. I have no further questions for you.
Thank you very much. And you may roll to see. And I think you got 5 in there.
Thank you. That's a 6 on the dice, plus 5 is 11.
Yep.
Awesome. And you can also provide arguments against the efficacy of the zoo costume if you wish.
Trying to think here.
This is if you can.
Yeah. So
Our ironclad legal arguments.
what was the argument with the zoo costume? So
I'm going to be honest. The
I got a bit
actual
lost with it,
argument,
but yeah.
no, the bottom line of the argument is that it was proof that we had to tie it into the case somehow. So it was another costume. It was proof
Another
that
costume.
Dinah had made it, so we could prove that she was an excellent costumer, and then the rest of it was puns.
I see. You're members of the jury. I mean, surely this goes to prove that the costume that Dinah made was so incredibly realistic and accurate that there is no possible way that if Mr. Blowhole was wearing this costume, they would not mistake him for a true, whatever that animal's called. It's
Walrus.
walrus. Thank you. Of course. So how could that in any way? Be evidence to the innocence? This should be disqualified. This is cracking me up, you know?
Your Honor, I know this isn't the usual practice. Firstly, your mane is amazing. It's beautiful and shiny. Secondly, may I just add with the wonderful Diner, what I was meant to ask, which would have made this better, would be when you made the costume, did you base it around a particular walrus, or did you base it around your interpretation of walrus? Could you, if you had Russell Wall stand in a lineup and your costume, could you, as an expert in the costume, tell the difference?
I could certainly tell them apart. I think I really sort of tried to evoke the character with my costume. I tried to get a sense of the greed and the cruelty of a big business walrus who would callously, with disregard for the law, make money at the expense of others.
I believe, Miss Dinah, I'm going to have to ask you to stop there, because at this point, you're only insulting the persecution's client by insinuating that anyone wearing your costume would be considered callous and mean and money hungry. I would also like to move to strike the previous pun from our colleague across the way, as a kraken is not an animal, but a mythological creature.
Hey!
Look, I'm on my game tonight, boy. You better come hard for me.
I believe we've seen evidence that speaks to the character of this witness and potentially speaks to how trustworthy they are and how much the jury should put stock in their words, because to create costumes to allow animals to impersonate zoo officials is, of course, fraud.
You're arrested.
Oh no!
You're
I
under
am
arrest.
I am in total awe that my client would try to insinuate there's anything wrong with creating realistic and believable costuming. All hell would break loose if this was to be disallowed.
As we've
it was all or nothing. And says who that we can't provide such wonderful costuming to our theater productions? You're just pandering to the jury at this point. I will not let you get in till I've finished all my puns.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I've taken on your accent.
I think we all have slightly.
Your Honor, I'll take his there.
You can clearly see that the defense has gone bananas over here.
All right, so
Are you monkeying around over there?
I think I counted 2 puns for.
I did more than 2.
Your actual argument genuinely. Your actual argument only had 2. The rest were all when we were back and forthing it.
Yeah.
Thought that counted. Okay, fine.
Because a banana is it is related to an animal, but is not an animal.
It's also a piece of evidence in this case.
That's true. All right, fine.
yeah,
I'll take the 2.
Take
I'll
plus
take
2.
the 2.
And you also have your 3 perk points.
Oh, I know.
Yes! Come
I
on!
roll the 2 plus 2 plus 3 is 7.
Okay, you can get
Finally.
1 point.
Finally!
You're at 15. The defense are at 16. Finally, we have some tension in this case.
I used all 3 of my perk points.
Okay.
Right, so just above table, because I've realized that one of our pieces of evidence, the argument we had for it was crap, and I just, at this point,
It was
everything
solid
up-
gold until
God.
the prosecution started, and then
Well, no, it's just the key is just like, at this point, the key would just be making the same arguments we made a minute ago, so it'd just be more puns for the sake of nothing. But because we're just doing like back and forths now, we're like 1 point ahead, but everything from this point on is going to be like equal opportunity, isn't it? So it doesn't matter if we skip one piece of evidence.
Yeah.
so we
Alright, cool.
just do your one.
Yeah,
and,
we'll move
and
on.
your
We'll
witness.
just move on to the last witness and last piece of evidence. Thank you, Miss Donna. You may step down from the witness box. Your Honor, I'd like to call our second and last witness. Oh, no, sorry. We have 2 more witnesses and 1 more piece of evidence. I'd like to call our second witness. The bartender from the Tusk Club and Mrs. Amoli. Amol.
And so you see a sort of ruffle of dirt sort of coming along the ground, speeding
Bolly
towards
gets up
the...
to go and help her as well.
and
Bumping into things. Bump.
yeah. And then eventually a mole bursts from the ground, shaking all the dust from her snout. I think she's one of those star-nosed moles with this sort of bizarre fronds of coming out
Funnily
of her
enough,
nose.
that is what I had pictured for this one as well.
But hands as nose, yeah.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Miss Amoli. Can I just ask a quick something? You obviously had some issue getting toward the stand there. Before we progress, can I ask, do you need any seeing eyeglasses? You seem to have some problem with your vision.
I do have some difficulty seeing above ground because my eyesight is preferably dedicated to underground, but also I do get dust in my eye and it makes them water, and I find it hard to know where I'm going. It is a constant struggle for me.
It is very interesting, Miss Amoli. Now, before we move on to the crux of my questions for you, we have a piece of evidence I'd like you to have a look at. And I will pull out a credit card statement. And I will present it to Miss Amoli, who I'm going to suggest would struggle to read it. It's like, Miss Amoli, would you be able to tell me what this credit card statement says?
Yes, let me look. It says something about Crody Care Stutzman. I'm sorry, I'm finding it difficult.
That's fine, Miss Amoli. This is a credit card statement for one Blowhole Joe, purchased in the Tusk Club. Now, see, Mr. Blowhole attended the Tusk Club in his costume, attempting to embody the character of the walrus from The Wolf of Walrus Street. He went in and spent his night, and as we've already seen, was not accosted by security, nor was he noticed by the other walruses in attendance. You could say he blended in with the herd, if you will. He spent an evening celebrating his performance, gave several crab-to-vating speeches to the awaiting audience, and I must say it was utterly convincing that he portrayed his character as such. And it was unanimous within the club that he was a perfect embodiment of everything it is to be walrus. But I give to you, the jury, that this evidence showing a credit card statement spent on Mr. Joe Blowhole's own credit card shows that he was, to begin with, more than willing to pay for his own drinks. But I posit to you that after some time, he became weary of attending the bar and pulling out his credit card and going through the steps of working out with our friend Ms. Amoli here how to progress with the payment. And so instead, he set up a tab. But now, Ms. Amoli, would you be able to point to Mr. Mr. Wall here in the courtroom?
She kind of squints her eyes and looks around, and just like the first walrus that she sees is like, I think that is him, I'm not sure. Just one of the walruses that burst out of the
Miss Emily, I'm afraid to say that is not the client of our colleagues here, Mr. Wall. I would say, how did you perhaps recognize Mr. Wall on the night? Was it perhaps by his mannerisms, his actions on the night? Was it perhaps, perchance, the fact that he acted like a complete and unrepentant asshole?
I cannot quite remember.
I like to point out for the record, every time I use asshole, it's a pun. It's ass. Yeah. I'm not swearing.
I'm trying to remember what took place that night. I think that he was.
Sorry, can I just add in? Let me try and set the scenario a bit more. And Bolly she has jewels all over her. She has a bracelet which is like diamonds and topaza. That's a hummingbird. And rubies and everything else. And she basically gets them to catch the light. So it's like a crazy glitter ball, but into this witness's face.
Already, per eyesight, and we're just blinding this poor mole now. Now, I would say that some might consider the various walruses here easily recognized and totally different in appearance. And I would posit from the horse's mouth itself that you still struggle to differentiate between them. So when my client approached the bar to open up a tab, you opened a tab for the most asshole-ish, unrepentant, misogynistic prick in the place, as that is how he was acting. That one was a swear word. It was not a
Sorry,
pun.
did you say prick or stick insect? Like
Stick insect.
Stick. Yeah,
Stick
I thought so.
insect.
There's
And
a stick insect in the jury who kind of crosses their arms and goes.
I do apologize,
Sorry.
ma'am. Sir, ma'am, sir, I do apologize. But I give it to you, the jury, that this is no more than a case of mistaken identity, not one of stolen identity, as my colleagues across the aisle would posit to you. And I hope that you will see that for what it is, nothing more than an honest mistake on the part of a poor, hard-working individual who has overcome their difficulties with eyesight to rise up and do their best to work their way through the day and make a living as best they can. And we should not hold that against them, nor anyone else present that night. I rest my case, Your Honor.
Amazing. So yes, please make your roll with your +5, which is easily exceeded.
I could have saved a few of them. That is a 7 + 5.
Boom.
Excellent. So you're now at 18
Boom,
points.
shakala. Sorry, in Sheldon's voice, boom, shakala.
Very well. Would the prosecution care to cross-examine this witness?
You want to go? Or shall I go?
If you got something.
Pardon me, what is this? It's Amole?
Amelie.
Amelie.
Amelie. Strange enough, a play on Amelie, which I think Maddy picked up on immediately.
Yes.
Yes, that is why I did the French accent.
Ladies and gentlemen, not this accent again. I'm
You're
walking
from New
here.
York.
All right.
So, are you taking the piss out of my accent?
Absolutely. Absolutely, sir. Miss Emily, you strike me as a keen-eared person. You can't see, but perhaps you've got a good sense of hearing.
Yes, I have to be able to hear when the worms are going by underground.
I would posit, in fact, that a mole does not have good hearing. A starfish-nosed mole has an exceptionally good sense of smell, as that may also help your argument, not mine.
Who's cross-examining this witness?
Yeah.
Look, you're doing such a terrible job, I had to step in and assist.
Good. Okay. Sorry, you've really thrown me there.
Just make the same argument you were going to make, but with smell instead of hearing.
Well, what I was gonna say. Walking the. All right. When you were in the bar, did you happen to? My argument's pretty specific to hearing. So, did you happen to overhear, this walrus that you were setting up this tab for, interacting with anyone? Did you happen to pick up some of the conversation that was happening at the bar that night?
I'm trying to remember. I think that
You haven't forgotten, have you?
I don't think that I have. I think that there was some discussion of some kind of payment that had to be made, but I
right.
could not quite catch it.
Perhaps these were people trying to gibbon back to the community or something along those lines. Maybe it was that sort of good-natured thing that they were trying to do. Maybe you goat me there. Or could it be that
So
you...
I love watching when you have to come up with a pun, that you have that moment, you look up and you immediately look down and then it's a pun.
Yep, maybe what you overheard, in fact, was some sort of scheme. Would that be plausible?
I mean, lots of business deals happen in this club. It is a very lucrative environment for these walruses.
And did you hear this individual give their name at all when they were going around talking, giving these business deals? Did someone else say the name of this individual? What did you hear there?
I cannot quite recall. Perhaps I heard something that sounded like Russ, but that could have been
Russ, like Russell Wall. So
think-
Russ.
Sorry, could it have been Russell Crowe?
I think you'll find with this objection from the defense that this was a walrus exclusive bar.
So it could very well have been Brussels sprouts, one of their favorite. I don't know. I'm making that
This
one up.
is another wild goose chase. New York.
Trust me, I know what I'm
This is another
doing.
wild goose that the defense is sending us on. In your experience, would you say that Russ is a nickname for someone called Russell?
Yes, I think so. It seems quite plausible to me.
Then in that case, do you think that anywhere in this Tooniverse, someone could mistake Russ for... someone could hear Russ and not assume that it was for the member at this bar called Russell?
Yes, I think that is possible.
Do you have any other members of this VIP exclusive bar at this prestigious zoo with only a few members called Russell?
No, of course not.
Then, that being considered, do you not think that perhaps you might have set up that tab thinking that this was Russell, considering he was introducing himself as Russ?
Objection, Your Honor.
Yeah,
At no point in this continuation did you admit that he introduced himself as Russ, only that you overheard someone possibly saying something that sounded like Russ.
Also, Your Honor, I've got a thing I need to say.
Also,
so,
I'm still treating this like an actual legal argument.
Yeah.
So from what the prosecution is saying, can I just quickly say, so if you won't mind me just trying something for one moment, being that Amelie, this may show something. Sorry, 1 second. So she speaks to Sasumi. She asks Sasumi to play some club music that they normally play in that kind of club. Or sing some club music. Somebody else, feel free to beatbox or something. So when it's really bassy down here, anybody else can hear this, right? So with Emily, she can only hear with her species. She can only actually hear vibrations when it's in the low area with the bassy tone. So when this is going on, if I say, "Hey, boss," does that sound like Russ?
I mean, it can be quite noisy because the walruses all bellow quite a lot, and also the music is very loud. So I could have misheard.
And there you have it. Thank you very much, Emily.
All right, I think we did get 5 puns from the.
Yes.
I don't know why
prosecution.
we keep interjecting when the actual arguments
Because we are
don't
the legal
matter.
system.
Like,
It's
they
it's for the
don't
story.
matter.
It's for the story. It's for the very
Look-
important and compelling narrative that we are.
Regardless what the actual outcome, well, to be fair, if they somehow manage to find a guilty verdict, we all know that it was a botched
It was fixed.
decision and that an injustice will have been done. That's all I can say.
Right, I'm gonna do the pivotal roll here.
Yeah.
That's a 5 on the die for the +5 for a 10.
Nice. All right. So you're at 17 versus 18.
Okay, I think we have one more.
I have the closing arguments.
Oh, hold on, because that was a witness and evidence. That was the witness and the credit card statement.
Yeah.
Do we get to interrogate
Well, to be
their
fair,
credit card statement too?
to be fair, I think we only ruled once anyway, so I think should we just
Yeah.
skip
Yeah.
that?
So
Yeah.
the other thing we do have one more witness as well.
Yes. I'd also to point out that we have had one bit of feedback from the Twitch chat,
Oh,
which
have we?
was, yeah, I asked it. Well, as I asked, we asked from the account, as this may end up in a draw. Does anyone have any sort of preference on who should have won the case? And we've had one reply which said, "I was painting a wall, but I vote that we throw all the lawyers in jail for crimes against punnery."
I would like to point that out, but that is by Liz Campbell, wonderful member of the Realms cast, who is herself a lawyer.
And was
Oh,
one
there
of
you
the
go.
wonderful playtesters of this game.
We've also had Cat Slap Studios, who has seconded that statement.
Yeah.
I think that is very wise.
I mean, I agree. I believe it is a totally sound argument. So, Joanna, and by the way, thank you, Miss Emily. You can be on your way now.
Holly gets up again to help her back out.
We have one more witness, Joanna. And that is the security in the club, Ms. Ms. Holly, the eagle. Ms. Holly is a bald eagle named for the genus Holyatus leucocephalus. I believe is how that's pronounced, but I do not speak Latin, so I couldn't tell you for certain.
Science, bro.
Insert meme.
Yeah.
So we call Miss Holly to the stand.
You hear a majestic cry coming from exactly like that. And drifting on the breeze, a beautiful eagle slowly glides down and then settles on the fake log that has been serving as the podium and ruffles their feathers.
Good evening, Miss Holly. Now, I believe that you work security at the Tusk nightclub. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Excellent. And with your, I would say, eagle-eyed vision, you would spend the evening sat up in the rafters and keeping an eye on the goings-on in the club below. Is that also correct?
Yes, of course. I
So
take my
I
job
would-
very seriously.
So you would say it'd probably be a fool's errand to try, a fool's errand, I pronounced that completely wrong, a fool's errand to try and get one past you, yes?
Oh, yes, of course.
So, do remind us, because it has been a while since we discussed this, but everyone here is telling us that our client here, Blowhole Joe, was coming into this club and pretending to be someone he's not, which, as we've all sort of agreed here tonight, is the case. The problem is, someone has been telling us that he was intentionally pretending to be someone else. Now, is it not true that you at no point in the night heard Blowhole Joe introduce himself by name?
I cannot recall that I heard him introduce himself by name. He merely barreled in. I assume that he was a member of the clientele, considering his walrus-like visage, and that was why I did not apprehend him. But as the night wore on, I saw that he was ruffling some feathers with the other clients.
Mr. Sheldon, can I just say, don't forget to ask Holly about the zoomed in seeing. Obviously, with Holly's amazing eyesight, like zooming in to see any detail within the club. Sorry.
Of course. Okay. I was trying to find a way to work it in because so with your amazing eyesight, obviously you said you caught some of the things being some feathers being ruffled, as you said, and perhaps some people were looking a little bit rough around the edges. But surely to one such as yourself, that was just water off a duck's back, and that was a normal night for you. And you yourself look to be a hard egg to crack, and with the pecking order in this club, I assume you're right up at the top there, and you would never have any hurt felines if someone were to say otherwise, and try to, anyone other than a walrus getting into this club, they would be scarce as hen's teeth under your vision. But even with your keen eyesight, our client here managed to work their way in and hold many conversations, and I believe, as you say, they did upset a few people, but as we've stated before, I believe that is because they were getting well into their character, and it would be the scaredy cat when going in here and trying to embody a role. They may have got a few people hopping mad, but that's not to say that they weren't just embodying the role as it was intended, and they may have upset a few people, but who can be blamed for that when embodying a greedy, egotistical, misogynistic, perhaps even racist walrus such as the one from this theater performance?
Can I? Yeah, can I add some things here too?
Absolutely. Please take over, Miss Barley, because I have thrown in more than enough puns at this point, and I lost the thread of my argument a long time ago.
So Holly, hi. So as you have such good eyesight, do you also have like a photographic memory of what you saw through a series of events? A bit like if it was a human legal system, a bit like CCTV?
Oh, yes, of course. That's one of the reasons I got the job.
Yeah. So if you, for example, when Blowhole Joe was at the bar, if you zoomed in and then super zoomed with your amazing fisheye lens. So if you zoom right in, the card that he's holding when Amole asks for payment, the card, can you see what name is on the card? I think if you do, you will see it says Blowhole Joe.
You see that Holly goes into her mind palace and her eyes kind of move independently of each other and get bigger and smaller, and she says,
enhance.
And she says, yes, you're quite correct. It does say Blowhole Joe on the credit card. I can also give you the full number, but I assume that's protected information.
That's quick, I'm trying to think of a pun. That's Mr. Sheldon, maybe you'd like to think of a pun for GDPR.
That's GDBR.
That's goated.
That's the throat goat.
Not in this
I'm
context.
sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I think we got off track here. It's as secure as a turtle shell. Is what it is. GDPR, your information and anyone's information on the web. And Sheldon starts addressing the court like he's on a TV infomercial. Any information you have will be completely and utterly secure, like a turtle shell, when you use GDPR. I am merely showing you that I have no idea what GDPR actually is.
Also, if tonight's episode has affected you in any way, please get in touch.
We don't care, but it'll help our ratings.
Any engagement is good for us.
There's no such thing as
GDPR.
There's no such thing as bad publicity.
Very well. You may make your roll with the easily exceeded +5 once more for your interrogation of Holly.
I'll do the rules as I started.
Wow, that was a big boom.
So basey.
Well, I'm using metal dice. I don't know if you can see that, but that is a 10.
Oh,
Hey!
So yeah, you're on to 20
Yeah, sorry.
now.
Sorry, metal dice on a even with the dice tray. That's still
wow.
yeah.
Business.
Chunk. Very well.
Like I say, you need to come hard if you're gonna come after old Sheldon T. Ortiz. He plays hard and he parties hard.
But you should sit down now, Sheldon. You know, you
Yeah,
don't want to wear
you're
your
all
legs
right.
out.
I am getting a little bit tired. Thanks, you, Miss Bowie.
Very well. Does the prosecution have any questions for Miss Holly, the Eagle?
I certainly do, Your Honor. Miss Holly the Eagle, you are a security guard at Tusk Club. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
Just for the benefit of the jury, let's talk a little bit about what that job involves. Do you have police training?
I did take a course with the zoo security, the human security in the zoo, but I have not interacted with any of the police force here in London. I wouldn't interact with the pigs.
Do we get that pun? And when you're on duty as a security guard at this very secure VIP club, do you go armed?
I am my body is a weapon, you might say. I have very sharp talons and beak that can be used to tear and take apart my enemies.
So you are
Sheldon's
in a way.
head retracts into his shell.
You are in.
Oh
in,
my!
in a way, you are always alpacaing heat.
Yes, that is correct.
And are you trained in the appropriate way to deal with a con heartist? A heart is a male deer.
I do have some training to notice cons in effect. I have been given some briefings on commonly made cons where someone may pretend that they are getting married and need just a fare for a bus or something to get there because their car broke down, all that kind of stuff.
And so if you did become aware of somebody running this sort of scam in Tusks, you would pursue that person?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
You would keep up a dogged pursuit?
Of course, I take my job very seriously, as I've already said.
And Miss Holly, would you be if your testimony were ever called into question, would you submit to a fly detector test?
Of course, yes. I always tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Very well.
So help me, COD.
So I think what we've established here is that that Blowhole Joan was a very good con artist if you didn't spot him at work. Very accomplished in his so-called role as a con artist.
Yes, I didn't notice any particular wrongdoing apart from just being a bit of an asshole, and that's not a crime as far as I can tell.
Again, if this had anything to do with the actual arguments, that would have been an objection for leading the jury.
Well, I was about to say no further questions, Your Honor, because it's a very weak argument, but I believe I've made 5 puns.
I believe you have.
You may roll the
Absolutely.
ceremonial die.
That's a 7 on the die
For 12.
for 2 points.
Excellent. So you are at 19. Excellent. So,
Can I just ask your security firm? Is it Securitas or do you work for Mightsies?
I don't think I got that one.
I didn't get it.
I'm guessing those were days of like security companies.
They are
with animals
well-known
through?
UK security
Yeah,
companies.
I sort of recognize the
The
first one, the second one.
Mighty and Securitas.
Yeah, Securitas was the one I was like, I sort of recognize that one. The second one was that one over my head as well.
Yeah, MITIE. Mites.
Might.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Excellent. I'm an independent operator. I'm a freelancer. So yeah.
So I might even say you're a lone wolf.
Yes, you could say that, absolutely. So where are we at with all our evidence and witnesses? Have you gone through all of your
We're
three of
through.
each? Or?
We've
We're
done our
waiting for it.
witnesses. Yeah,
we have to
I
have
think
the
they need to
roll
roll. Yeah, they need to roll theirs for that. Did you
before
roll
we
for
do
that?
closing arguments.
We did. We
Yeah,
we rolled for our cross just there, yeah.
yeah.
Cool.
Did you?
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it is now time for
2 points,
closing
baby.
arguments.
we got
Yeah.
2 points.
I completely missed
Sorry.
that.
Sorry, I was just talking.
It's all good. So it's always a good thing in an RPG.
I was
Russ-
talking and it failed miserably. Why I didn't look at more animal puns? I went, yeah, security firm puns that I can put animals in.
It's all good. It's all good. All right. Rex Main gathers his robe about him, which is, as previously mentioned, made from the skin of his grandfather. He says, "Very well. It is nearly time for us to make our judgment. As the jury, your duty is sacred, and you must take this very seriously. Now, the prosecution may make the closing arguments. Please explain to the jury what you have proved today and why the defendant, Blowhole Joe, must be given a guilty verdict."
Shall I? Fabulous. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the defense here wants you all to play the fool. They have decided that the Tusk is some sort of scapegoat, that they could not have possibly seen any kind of evidence about this so-called fraud or frog. I don't know. Is
And
that one? Probably
To be
not.
fair, we have seen that because of the language issues, Blowhole Joe can be a hard man to read.
Now, I don't want to startle any of you members of the jury, but the truth is evident.
I'm sorry, was that a mock on my colleague?
Of course.
Yeah, so, how dare you, sir?
Well,
We will
look,
have pistols at noon,
riveting as that would be.
and then shots at 3.
Bolly hands,
Riveting as
Bolly,
that
Bolly
would
hands
be.
Sheldon her glove so he can throw it.
Riveting as that would be, the jury see through the lies told today by the defense. And of course, they should know that they've heard it straight from the horse's mouth today. They heard the name Russ. They heard that he was a method actor, and of course they heard that he had a walrus costume that placed him right in the center of all of this, and what's more, they heard all about the shit. They
Objection.
heard all about the poop and all the disgusting things that comes with it.
Objection.
So-
I think he used another mythical creature. I think he said centaur.
I wasn't even doing that one.
That one was
So not to
completely on
carry on
accident.
with this dung beetle behavior, but we've got to roll this shit up the hill and get justice done and find Blowhole Joe guilty.
I was really hoping you'd forget what you were doing to say innocent for a second.
Innocent, I mean,
If you, the jury, agree with our closing remarks, then you should send Blowhole Joe to Alcatraz.
yes,
Boo.
love it.
Boo.
Excellent.
Do you
Yes.
have perk points left, Matt?
I do.
Would you like to roll?
Sure.
Says the one
you
who
have-
made the entirety of the arguments.
Hey, I think I contributed at least half the puns there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you may roll +5 plus any perk points you wanna put on this.
All comes down to this. Where's it gone? That's a 4 on the dice. Plus 5 is 9.
Plus your perk points.
Plus all 3 perk points
Yes.
gets us to 12.
Nice. So you are on 21 points.
And what are we on currently?
You're on 20 currently.
Ah, cool.
Mess it up. Mess it up.
Just immediately forget every pun I've ever heard. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, fuck you.
You look
Fuck this
bad.
shit.
You
I'm
look
out.
shit.
Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what you've just heard from my colleagues was a very amusing argument, but I must say that two can play at that game. See, they floated around the subject like a butterfly, but I must tell you that an argument had with evidence is certainly worth more than it's worth a bird in the hand and two in the bush, as they say. And they want you to sit here, and they sang a very pretty song, like a lovely little songbird or canary, but ultimately, they had nothing. Like a rabbit out of a hat, it was all tricks. There was no substance to their arguments, and I cry foul and say that they have nothing in their backs. They say that their argument hinges around someone hearing the name Russ in a nightclub. Well, we presented hard evidence, hard as an egg, tough to crack. And we ain't here to show pony around and give this a one-horse race, and I'm just naming puns now that don't really fit into the
I was gonna
argument.
say you've hit the 5.
I've hit a 5. No, I'm just like, oh, I'm just going through the rest of them I have. And I gotta say that you gotta strike while the iron is hot, and it's owl or nothing at this point. And we got a pony up, and it's a fool's errand to continue, and things may look a little rough right now, but this is no longer the tail wagging the dog, and we've got a pecking order that we must adhere to. And honestly, if that doesn't sway you to our argument, I don't know what will. Miss Bally, have you got anything to finish up with?
Just a few. So, ladies and gentlemen, birds and bees, all of you. So, imagine that you are Blowhole Joe. So he is an authentic actor. He's done nothing but be good at what he does. The authenticity of his seamstress is so good. It portrays something unimaginable. Now, all he was doing was trying to get even better at his job. He went into a club. He portrayed just a walrus from a new stage play, not the other one, Russell Wall, the other one.
That other guy over there.
That racist.
And this is all.
This is Hawkwood.
This is all a case of conjecture. Conjecture.
All right.
And there's no real substance behind this. There is a visually impaired witness. There is all of it. It's just a man being good at his job. He's being an actor. That's
Are you
all
saying
it
our
is.
arguments are superfluous?
No, we're saying this shit.
And we're saying that we are kick ass.
So, ladies
being
and-
a pun.
Of course. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you just have to let me know what you think.
And
We-
finally, sausage dog drop.
We arrest our case.
All right, time to roll. Go for it.
Go on, Natalia,
than
I feel like you've not rolled in a while, so why don't you take this one?
9. And my last two, so 9.5, 5.
Plus
is it, actually?
5.
You've
Yeah.
done it.
Throw on those
14,
perk points. You can
and
have
2
my
more
perk
points.
points as well.
15, 16, and his perk points, which is 3, so 19.
By 1 point.
Ow!
1 point. Incredible.
Uh,
So the Rex Main, the judge, calls for the jury to go and deliberate amongst themselves, and it takes them a paltry 3 minutes to come up with the obvious
I
choice.
feel like we're owed more time. It was by 1 point.
I'm shocked it took that long, to be honest. One of your pieces of evidence was literal shit.
In that 3 minutes, Bolly started drinking from a martini glass where she puts her head completely upside down and shakes her head at it.
And the speaker of the jury, whatever they're called, is a little otter.
Foreman, I
and
think.
Foreman of the jury.
That's correct.
Jury person number 1. Yep.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
foreman, who is an otter, perks up and says, "We find the defendant not guilty." And I don't appreciate
Alright.
how many times you said utterly today. But that's beside the point. You still made a good argument. So
we shake hands. We all pick up Blowhole Joe, throw him back into the marine enclosures.
yeah, we have to patch up the wall that Russell Wall broke.
We all chase the walruses back in.
Yeah. So I would just like to have a little epilogue. What do Ernest and Kroll get up to after this trial is over? How do they commiserate at their loss? Do they come together and talk it through, or do they go to their separate watering holes?
Do we become vigilantes and bring Blowhole Joe to justice?
I wonder if maybe
Blowhole Joe is innocent.
I wonder if maybe we go out drinking and get into an altercation that gets us into jail? Gets us into court?
We've been thinking about it so much all day that when we get drunk, the place that we end up is the Tusk Club, and we get arrested.
They don't let you in, so you fight the security guards.
You get drunk and get some like police like road cones, paint them white, and just show on.
we get absolutely taken out by Holly the Eagle.
Yeah, absolutely. And how do Sheldon and Bolly celebrate their victory?
So Bolly will leave and she'll go to some beautiful island and spa with like all of with in actual fact it's just like the middle of the Flamingo Park part, and it's just like a little concrete little island in the middle of the park with a silly little sprinkler coming up, but in her head she's in some exotic island.
And while she's there, her phone rings and it's Sheldon's like, Ms. Bolly, I just wanted to say that and he's literally like one fence over in the other enclosure. It's like, I just want to say you did a phenomenal job in that case, and I will be speaking to your father, and I'm sure you'll be making partner in no time. You've done him proud.
I have my eye on the bigger corner office over there.
Another corner park of her Flamingo area.
Ms. Bolly, I'll see what I can do. And just so you know, you made me proud too.
Well, thank you, Sheldon.
No problem, Ms. Bolly.
I think you're a great trainer. I appreciate all of your help.
Oh, I appreciate it, Ms. Bolly. You've certainly helped me come out of my shell. Freeze frame, zoom out, credits roll.
Thumbs up. Don't you forget about me.
Yeah.
How much of that song can we legally sing in London Zoo legal?
That's it. Like
we've
a
done
line,
it.
maybe a line and a half.
The London Zoo legal system is different.
Fantastic. So, yes, thank you so much, everyone, for bringing to life my incredibly silly animal lawyer game. You all did absolutely amazingly. You blew me out of the water with your puns. And
I feel like, my pun game needs to up a lot.
I mean, I only got like a few in towards the end.
To all of you guys with the awesomeness of the puns.
Well, I've got to thank punpedia.org for
I was about to say, of us three, how many of us Googled all of our puns?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
really? Off the dome. All of them. Good
Not
God,
all
man.
of the
Well
dome,
done.
some prepared, but not from the internet.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no,
well,
God.
You're the true victor then.
Yeah, you won. Like I had to go and like look mine up online, and I've made a list, but like I still had to get them off the internet. I made a few up on the fly, but most of them.
Well, thanks, Maddy, for writing this game and enabling us all.
And and running it for us.
And where can people go and buy this game?
Well, you can buy it for only 5 of your British Earth pounds on itch.io. If you search my name, Maddy Searle, if you go to maddysearle.itch.io, if you search for I'm Not Lying, you'll be able to find it. And I also have a game which is a hack of lasers and feelings called Vampire Cowboys, where your 2 stats are vampire and cowboy. So,
yeehaw.
If that's your bag, then you might enjoy that too. That's only £2 if I remember correctly. So yes, I have been Maddy, pronouns she, her. You can find me over on Realms of Peril and Glory as one of the regular cast members. You can find my personal podcast, A Game of One's Own, where I play solo and 2-player RPGs. There will be, I believe, next week, if I get my skates on, the edited version of Zack and my live show that we did at UKGE, where we played To the Bitter End, where we were bitter rivals.
Good game.
So yeah, do keep your eyes out for that. There's already a couple of games up on the feed. But enough from me. Let's hear from all of our wonderful players, where we can find them on the internet, starting with Natalia.
So you can find me on all of the Linktree malarkey things where you'd find all the socials on. I am part of Trolls of the Two Ton Bridges, or on all the socials, TOTTB podcast. I am she, her, or oi twat, or similar. You, face, all of those answer to. Feel free to come and chat to me. You can also find me on Instagram as The Real Soliloquy. And it's been a pleasure to play with you all.
Thank you so much. And
Did I miss
Zack?
anything? I don't think I did.
And Zack, how about you?
Yeah, I can be likewise like Maddy, found on Realms of Peril and Glory. You can find the show at Realms Pod. We do lots of different games. They're fully sound designed, original music, and they're a lot of fun. If you tuned in for the Liminal series we did, that's set in one of the worlds that we run on the show, called Liminal London. It's quite a lot of fun, and I do some very silly English accents in front of all my English friends. So for the cringe alone, go listen to it at Realms of Peril and Glory. I can be found online at ZackFG, that's ZackFG, on Twitter and Instagram and all those various different places. But what I would really like to encourage people to do today is go and buy Maddy's games, because she's a fabulous designer and a good friend, and I think you really should go support her and her work. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And also join Actual Play UK.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you want to be on one of these fabulous streams yourself, you can sign up to the Discord server.
So just before everyone's like starts throwing that one out there, because that was one of the things I was going to shout at the end. Actual Play UK is obviously built for UK-based TTRPG streamers and podcasters. So when we say please join us, unfortunately that invite's not just for everyone.
No, but they can follow us on other socials and things like that.
You can catch us on Twitter, Instagram, obviously follow us on Twitch. We upload all of these after the fact to YouTube, so you can follow us on there if you want to go and rewatch this again and relive all these horrible, horrible puns. But we'll let Maddy finish all the outros.
No worries. And yes, Matt, how about you? Where can we find you?
Thank you all very much for watching. I've been Matt Boothman. You can hear more of my voice on the podcast Merely Roleplayers. We have a long-running Monster of the Week campaign set in a Middle English market town, which we intersperse with one-shots in other systems. You can find that at merelyroleplayers.com, and you can find everything else that I do at foggyoutline.com.
Wonderful. And Jordan, how about you?
Once again, I am Jordan, and I am a very sweaty boy. I am the DM, producer, and
That's his
editor
OnlyFans.
Very sweaty boy. I am the DM. Good God, DM, producer, and editor for the Modified Rule podcast. I have a personal social media handles, which is wish I was a bard. I'm gonna be honest, don't use them super often. I'm mostly handling all of our podcast socials. I'm also one of the founders of Actual Play UK. I say one of the founders as if that had any real merit. I just trapped a bunch of people in a Discord. It was John, who is obviously not playing tonight, is the one who's turned this into a stream, and which is the reason why I've asked to go last, because I feel like every time we should be shouting out John and all the amazing work he does. And as well to all of you guys here playing the stream with me, all of these wonderful podcasters and streamers that I have just captured in a Discord and didn't let them leave until they all started playing games together. This wouldn't be happening without all these guys volunteering their time, volunteering their games like Maddy has done. So these guys deserve so much appreciation. So from me and John, thank you guys so much. And to John, who is listening, I know, thank you so much. I feel like when you're not playing, somebody has to shout you out, because these wouldn't happen without him. So, like I say, thank you so much for you guys, and all you guys watching this who are doing it maybe now on the stream or on the VOD or on YouTube. Thank you so much. We have had a phenomenal initial response to this. We are scheduling shit through to fucking August, September, October now.
Yeah, October now, isn't it? Yeah.
We have so much cool stuff coming up. Myself and John, mostly, I'm not gonna lie, mostly John. I spoke to 3 people. John spoke to so many people at UK Games Expo. We have so much cool shit coming up that it is just unbelievable. So please keep an eye on the schedule. Follow us on all of the socials. We're just Actual Play UK everywhere, except Facebook, because I refuse. but everywhere else you can find us, and just keep following us. We have so much cool stuff coming up. But finally, thank you so much, Maddy. As the other guys have said, this was so much fun. I really want to play this again. I know when this came up in the casting call, everyone was like, I want to play the stupid animal pun game. And as one of the founders, I was like, nope, I'm playing. So that's my privilege.
Awesome.
Yeah, cis white guy privilege. But thank you so much. We really enjoyed that. And I know everyone else here tonight had a great time as well. So I'll hand it over to you for the final goodbyes.
Awesome, yes. So some of the games that we've got coming up include Brindlewood Bay on the 30th of June, which we've got some of the cast members here. For folks from Realms of Peril and Glory, Of Dice and Them, Trolls of the Two Tonne Bridges, and The Secret of St. Kilda.
I'm ready.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've also got Mortborg coming up on the 7th and 14th of July with Realms of Peril and Glory. You can't get rid of us.
Sorry, we're cursed.
I was gonna say, at this point, it might as well be your stream. I went and did it. I'm not joking. I went and did a double check. There has only been one stream so far you haven't been in.
Look, you put us in a Discord and said, hey, do you want to play cool games? And all of us were like, fuck yeah.
Calm down.
Impossible.
I limited myself to one of the upcoming games.
We have been trying to limit ourselves. It's hard.
I've been
No, we really
good.
appreciate it, because obviously you guys are keen. We love that. But my God, calm down.
You can tell us no.
We would, but that would be mean.
There's also going to be folks from Gunpowder, Treason and No Plot, We Fix Space Junk, and Trolls of the Two Tonne Bridges again, and also Secret of St. Kilda for Mortborg. And on the 21st of July, Jordan is running Dummies and Dragons, the amazing D&D quiz.
It's just me yelling at people for an hour.
Excellent, wonderful. And then on the 28th of July, I'm going to be playing the solo TTRPG Dragon Dowser as part of a collaboration with Hatchlings Games. So you can hear me playing that on my podcast, Game of One's Own, but for a brand new story, hopefully with loads of different prompts. You can catch that on the 28th of July as well, and see me racking my brain trying to come up with cool stuff on the fly, which should be entertaining to see me sweat both in the summer heat and trying to come up with stuff in front of you.
Oh God,
So,
if it's still this temperature, then I'm just going to give up and move to the Arctic.
yeah, I feel you. So yes, thank you so much everyone for watching. Hopefully see you again next time, and do catch us on Actual Play UK on all the socials, and give us a follow or a like on Twitch so you know the next time we're going to be streaming. So thank you so much. See you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. So long.